Hello, Wanderers, and welcome to UnderTown. At the beginning of this year, Zach and Caitlin took a hiatus, so we decided to invite some of our friends to game with us in D&D 5th edition. Since 2021 was extra hectic as we welcomed 2 new babies into the Wandering Gamer family, this game is going to take the place of our holiday special. UnderTown will run through the rest of the year, and Outlaws will be back on the first Monday of January. Thank you all for sticking with us, and we hope you enjoy UnderTown. Hey Wanderers, and welcome to UnderTown, the Wandering Gamer Network's hiatus game. Last time, the party killed the necromantically friended Oswald Vile. After the battle, a grim shadow appeared on the wall, wanting to chat. Now, welcome Wanderers to UnderTown.
Very short intro.
It was a boss fight last time, so, I mean, I could give a blow-by-blow of punches, but basically what happened is there was a lot of punching, and then a creepy shadow formed up on the wall, and you heard a female voice saying, "I'd like to talk," and now it's on all of you.
Can we get re-introed into the female voice? I want to immerse myself into this.
Okay, the room has been destroyed by your battle with Oswald Vile. He's now dead and come back to life. You chatted for a while. You're all sitting around feeling good about yourselves, talking about potentially arming a mob to do something with swords and stuff. And then, as if from nowhere, a shadow was cast on the wall of a figure in a dark... Well, I guess you can't tell it's a dark cloak because it's a shadow. A figure in a cloak and hood, carrying a huge sickle, forms up on the wall, and you hear a voice say, "Let's talk." Or, "I think we need to talk." Or, "We have some talking to do."
Which is it?
I didn't look up the line it ended on. Well, what's going to happen is, it's whichever line it did end on in the last episode. But that's the gist.
I'm trying to give Ben an opportunity here to just be like, well, why can't we just talk now?
Oh, wait, was that a line? Why can't we just talk now?
There we go.
There it is.
Wait, were you saying that in response to "we should talk"? Did you say, "why can't we talk now"?
Yes, I think that's what just happened.
Okay, the shadow is, growing menacingly up the wall. The room is dark. You feel like a chill. And then the shadow just kind of stops and, hesitates. Well, yeah, that was... Yes, and then, out of the shadow on the wall, a, fairly short figure walks carrying a, scythe literally twice their height, So if this figure is 5 feet tall, 10-foot scythe... Yes, I meant talk now.
It would have been much more intimidating if you had used thaumaturgy or something to, make your voice scary, give some scary noises.
Yeah, usually being a shadow carrying a sickle's enough. Anyways, hi, all of you. I assume you just killed my brother.
He's not dead.
Well, he is kind of dead, but...
Ish.
I know what necromancy is, yeah. No, dead. Yeah, dead. Very dead. Anyways.
Well, undead.
So I guess I'm curious as to, the why of what's going on.
Well, to start, his little group of torn cloaks were antagonizing the town, and we didn't like that. If you can't tell, we're new here.
I got it, yeah. Yeah, I figured that. I know most people, and I've never met any of you.
Yeah, so we decided to do something about it. Didn't know he wasn't a typical resident of UnderTown before we fought him. He didn't tell us that till afterwards.
I imagine he probably started with the punching and not the talking. Typically the way he starts conversations, or did start conversations.
He's still right here.
Yeah, but he's undead now. He's like a thrall, so... Anyways... And I also don't want to talk to myself. The real thing here is I don't want to talk to myself.
I was so totally trying to get you to talk to yourself.
The real question, though, is what's next? I guess what I'm asking is, what are you doing after this? You got rid of Oswald? Now what?
Well, got rid of's not really, I don't think, the right way to put it. We recruited him.
All right. You recruited him into what?
We want to leave.
Ah, well, don't we all? I guess.
Or at the very least, if we can't leave, destroy this place to where nobody can get pulled down here again.
I like the way all of you think, I think.
And I know part of our reasoning here, too, about the way he was making the life of the citizens. We wanted to also make it better for them, because it's just a win-win all around.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah, my brother is terrible, but, I mean, what are you gonna do? He's been here since he was, 10. Not a great place to be raised. Also, being raised by a lich. Yikes, it really warps your perspective on things.
Yeah, so I guess our next plan was to either find your mom or you, but it looks like you've saved the trouble of finding us. We were hoping to recruit or enthrall either you or your mom to help us take down your dad. But sounds like you might be on our side, kind of?
I hope you don't have to kill...
We were gonna talk first, let's put it that way.
Cool, yeah, please don't try to kill me to recruit me. I would hate to have to use the sickle on you. But yeah, I'm willing to help. I'm here for whatever you need, so long as it's not, morally horrible. As long as you're actually trying to help people or stop this place. I agree. I also want to go home. I was a bit older when I got stuck here, and I don't like it. So, here's the deal, right? Yep, you can try to recruit my mom, but she's gonna be about as receptive as Oswald. So just keep that in mind.
I thought your mom was trying to get out of here, though.
Well, she is. But I doubt she's gonna want to get out of here.
I feel like this is a mutual cause.
Yeah, maybe try to talk to her and see how it goes. My point is, she's pretty far gone. I turn into a shadow and carry a sickle. She has been experimenting on people for a long time and turning them into eldritch creatures. She's not great. My point is, I don't invite her over for dinner very often, But if you can recruit her, she's dangerous and deadly, so there's that. I guess what I'm saying is, how can I help? Because I'm here and want to help.
It's a really broad question I was not prepared for.
I mean, that's fine, You can have my email address or whatever.
Wait, damn it, I don't have any ghost jokes for this. I want to be Zach. I want to... Wait, would it be your Gmail?
That's pretty good.
I hate you.
How close are you with your mom?
Well,
Would you being around be helpful or hurtful for trying to recruit her?
I think I could be helpful, but that's just in a skill way. I'm very sneaky. I can find creepy ways to get into places. I can help y'all do that, I can do disguises or travel through the shadows. I know how to get into the Twisting Palace, which is, not something everyone can do without alerting all the guards if you want. So I have abilities. I think probably my mom would I think she'd probably just try to imprison me or kill me. Probably. I don't think she would want to talk to me. She does not approve of the way that I'm doing things right now, where I'm I'm kind of Robin Hooding this place, in a creepy way. I haunt places and steal their stuff, then give them to people,
Oh, hey, that's quite a coincidence. That's exactly what I was doing here.
So, helpful aside from being charismatic, I understand.
Right, yes.
She's no bard, right, Alma?
No. Thankfully, we do have other methods of persuasion. And she strums her lute.
Oh, I usually just turn into a creepy shadow on a wall and tell people that I'm going to cut their heads off if they don't do what I say. Is that not... Maybe I shouldn't... anyways, that's how I usually do things.
That might be a second route if recruiting does not work.
Gotcha. And by recruiting, do you always mean killing and then rezzing with necromantic powers, or is sometimes recruiting a conversation?
Oh, I believe we start with the conversation.
Gotcha.
Just so far in this place, the conversations haven't gone well.
I mean, we have 2 necromancy recruits, but I'd say we got Terrence.
Yeah, Terrence. We talked to him, and he was nice.
And the barkeep and the members of the bar.
Well, hey, look at you guys making friends. All right, I guess what I'm saying is I'm here for your help. You know what? Here's the deal. If you need me, talk to a shadow, and I can hear it. That's the best way to get a hold of me.
Do our own shadows count?
Yeah, any shadow. I can hear the shadows.
That has to be very confusing. How do you filter through all that?
It's something you learn. That was a solid TNG reference. Anyways, we're gonna scoot right on past my TNG reference.
What's TNG?
Huh?
What's TNG?
Star Trek The Next Generation, when Picard is looking through Geordi's visor, and he's like, how do you filter out all of the noise? And he's like, it's something you learn. Like when you're in a crowded room, but you can still hear one person talking, because Geordi has to see through a visor. Anyways.
And she already talked to us about her mom, just other than she's pretty far gone at this point, right?
It's going to take more work than just, if you want to convince the mom, it's going to take more work than walking in and shaking her hand. She's not going to be, like, immediately receptive.
Well, we fought one person, we have another person that's willing, and, like, it just sounds like this one's going to be a fetch quest. Fetch me a fresh citizen!
Well, I mean, you could go that route if you want. You know, that's possible.
Bring me the man called Terrence.
Oh.
I'm just giving Cody bad ideas.
So, pulling back and looking at this from a bird's eye view, here's what you have going on right now. You have like a gang hideout full of weapons. You just lost one party member. He just vanished into thin air. You have that, like, the Torn Cloaks are off doing something somewhere. Your one thrall has yet to die. And, yeah, so then you have the Twisting Palace, which is this giant place, you know, that seems impossible to get into. That, what's her name? Gosh, I forgot her name.
You didn't give her a name, I think.
Let me look it up. I didn't give her a name, and you guys didn't ask because you're very rude.
I mean, I have Sister Vile written down right now.
She has a name. Hang on. Her name is Leora, just so you know.
Leora.
Leora. Leora, yeah. So, what does everybody want to do? You kind of got... This is one of those things where, like, I don't have a straight line for how to get to the end of this thing, you know what I mean? There's just places you can do and things you can do. So you tell me what you want to do, and we'll go from there. You're at a crossroads.
Well, first side note, to give people some more time to think about that, I'd like to ask if Mort could talk to Oswald about recalling all the troops so that they don't kill Hector.
Yes. Do you have a magical way to get everyone... Well, I could technically just bring them back here, couldn't I, Cody? Do we have that, like... Can I just sense what's going on with Hector, or... You can just tell if the connection to Hector is lost. You can't, like, control Hector. You don't have, like, an Xbox controller on him. He just does what you say. Okay.
He said he would try to come back, like, after... He would try to basically distract them as long as possible, and then come back. So the goal is for him to come back, but, you don't really know what's going on with him. You can ask Oswald about this, though, if you would like.
Okay. So, do you have a way to, get in touch with all your troops?
Well, the bracers can kind of do that. We have, like, a certain link with those, so if you're wearing one of the bracers and you try to communicate, it kind of acts as, like, trying to give the right way to put this, it's like a intention radio. You can't have, like, a whole conversation, but you can give, like, vague commands. I don't have any of the bracers on anymore, so I can't do that, but, whoever's wearing a bracer could try.
Amma has the pair from the first fight. I think Greg took a pair after the Oswald fight.
Well, either of them could give it a shot, so if you want to try, go for it.
Greg looks like he's about to have a great dinner.
Greg's sitting over a campfire, just cooking away. Greg or Amma, you are capable of trying to use these things to recall troops, or give that, like, vague command.
I just put it up in front of Oswald so that they don't panic and have him give the command.
Can they tell who it's from?
Yes.
I'd put him on Oswald real quick and just take him back. Or can we send a specific message to Hector?
No. You can tell if Hector dies, and you can give Hector verbal instructions.
Oh, he doesn't have the bracers.
Right, he does not have bracers on right now. And
Yeah,
even
just
if you
put 'em
could, it telegraphs to everybody. All right,
No,
so
I just put 'em on Oswald.
who's given Oswald the bracers? Either Amma or Greg can do that.
Do I have to give him both or just one? Would one be enough?
Just one.
Yeah, I'll give him one.
All right, you slip a bracer onto his arm. He immediately hulks out into giant Oswald form. Oh yeah! I miss these bracers even in the afterlife, brother, he says. And then goes, all right, what message you want me to send?
Have all your torn cloaks come back?
All right, give me a second. All right, Mort, roll with what did we have you do when you've controlled people before?
Magic and Arcana.
Okay.
21.
Okay, perfect. You see Oswald kind of like he closes his eyes for a minute, he flexes in Dragon Ball Z fashion. There's a brief aura of energy, and he goes, "The message has been sent, they're on their way."
May I request that he keeps that now? I like having a macho man to do the fighting.
I mean, I prefer wearing the bracer. The voice is more fun. Okay, so the torn cloaks are returning. What is everybody doing?
You're gonna make me change my character sheet again, Ben?
We'll just magic you one of the other bracers that we stole.
Yeah, then I'll have to change it again.
No, you just
Okay.
so whiny about getting cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm whiny about getting cool stuff and then having cool stuff taken away from me.
We can
Boys,
just
get it together or we're taking away all your cool stuff, okay?
What does everyone want to do for the 30 minutes of in-game time? It is like what I mean is it's going to take them 30 minutes to get back. What do you do?
Can I magic one of the other bracers to solve this conundrum?
Yeah, you can try to do that. So you can go back to the enchanting room. Especially with Oswald's help, this is very possible. Roll me like your magic check with advantage because Oswald is going to help you by imbuing it with his macho powers.
18.
Okay, yeah, you successfully create one more bracer, but there's no more bracer scraps left. This is the last one you can make for the moment.
Okay. I think now everyone has a bracer.
Woo!
Or at least everyone involved in
Do I gain +1 additional to Dex?
I don't think these did anything to Dex.
They were +1 to strength.
Yeah.
And that's just like, so 12 would become a 13.
All right. You have 25 minutes until the army of Torn Cloaks returns. What do you do?
Well, if we're not doing anything right now, maybe we should prepare to take all the stuff that we wanted to take down to the village.
Yeah, we should get out of here. They're probably not going to want to give up all their stuff, even if Oswald tells them to.
But then we won't have an army.
We'll have 2 armies.
Oh, fair enough.
Greg, you got all your knapsacks ready to go?
Yeah, just let me grab them real quick and we can head out.
Okay, you can give me a couple. I can carry some load.
As can I.
And I think we're going to head out of here, Cody.
Okay, so you guys are all just leaving the nobleman's retreat.
We all have a bracer now, so we can communicate with Oswald, too. And everybody else.
Yeah, so Oswald is staying here.
I mean, that's up to Mort. I don't want to step on his toes.
So what's the plan right now? What are we actually, like, what's the idea?
Well, at a minimum, I think we're taking all the stuff that we got here to get back to the villagers. Mostly the combat-based things. And then it's kind of a question about what we want to do with Oswald. Like, I don't think he needs to go parading around everywhere in his Hulkamaniac version form of himself. Cody got that one. Thanks, Cody.
I did.
But that's just my opinion. He is your thrall, so.
So just, like, is the plan to leave him here? He still controls the Torn Cloaks. They don't know anything happened.
I think that's best for now, and then maybe when the time comes, we give him a call to storm the castle with us.
Okay. I relay that to to Oz.
Okay, so all of you are leaving the nobleman's retreat. Where are you headed to?
Drop off all these supplies. I ain't carrying this forever.
Where you want to drop them off at?
Yeah, I think the bar would be a good place to start.
Okay. You make your way to the bar. When you walk in, it looks a little torn up. It's, obviously there was a pretty legit fight in there, People have kind of cleared out. The bartender is still behind the bar just trying to, haphazardly nail tables back together and, make things work. Terrence is there. He's, kind of trying to act like a guard. He's nervously standing by the door, keeping watch. Other than that, there's maybe a couple of patrons, but, it looks pretty sparse at the moment. You come in with piles and piles and piles of swords and shields and armor and whatnot, bows.
Do we bring food too? I thought we did.
Well, you mostly talked about bringing stabby things, but if you want to have brought food, that is also fine.
I just don't remember, because this was kind of Greg's Robin Hood mission.
Yeah, well, we also had, we had also talked about, liberating them of their food and alcohol to distribute.
Yeah, that's fine. You can have some of that as well. Yeah. You can have supplies that reasonably 5 people could have carried. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright, so you enter the bar with all of these goods. Stop! Who goes there? Oh, hi guys, it's me, Terrence. How are all of you?
Is he, standing there with his hand sword, one-handed sword with 2 hands on it, just kind of, shaking it, trembling?
Yeah, you've got the picture.
I guess it would be a 2-handed sword, wouldn't it?
No, if he's a ranger, he'd have a bow, but, he'd be cold.
Sword
Okay,
wielding.
first of all, rangers can have basically any martial weapon. Second of all, this would be the crappiest sword he could find because all of the other swords would have been taken by the Torn Cloaks.
Okay, yes, I acknowledge the council's made a decision, but it's a stupid decision.
Okay, so you have all these swords. Terrence is looking at all the swords. What do you guys do?
Terrence, we need to find a way to redistribute the wealth that the Torn Cloaks had taken away from the rest of you, / give all of you a chance to defend yourselves from the evils of this quote-unquote UnderTown.
Well, I mean, I guess it's all about logistics, right? I could take the swords and just go down the street and just knock on a door, hand him a sword. Knock on a door, hand him a sword, and then that's what I could do, but maybe you guys could, what you're wanting, it seems like you're trying to start trouble, which I'm fine with, but I feel like if you're gonna be head troublemakers, you gotta that's on you, you know what I mean? I can do what I'm told, but I don't know how to start a rabble.
Do you have a place that we could store these at for now? Because, general pause for that, party thought, I think we...
Put them in the basement, says the bartender.
Because we store everything now, because I don't want to preemptively arm and get everybody riled up until it's time for the siege, I guess.
Gotcha.
I don't want to step on Greg's Robin Hood movement here, but I think we store it away, and then when it's time, we gather everybody together, because I don't think necessarily Terrence is definitely the most charismatic character in this universe.
Hurtful, but okay.
I think it wasn't about taking the swords, or it wasn't about having the swords, about taking the swords. It was about destroying the status quo, because the status is not quo. The world's a mess, and we just need to fix it.
Are you suggesting we seize the means of production?
Pretty much, yeah.
I think just the town is a mess. The world's where we want to be. Just my input. Anyways, I'm guarding.
But I think we should, at a minimum, definitely stash these somewhere. And if the bartender suggests the basement,
You can put them in the basement. That's fine. I don't know. Sure. Nothing can get worse in this place, so just put them in the basement.
I would like to take some of the good food that we just got and have him try it.
He starts eating. Okay, we've been watching Food Wars, so I'm going to try not to describe it like an episode of Food Wars. He takes a bite and just one tear cuts through his grizzled, gnarly face and into his large beard. Just one tear as he tastes the best tasting thing he's ever had.
Now, I have a question. Is this food, like, excellent for the world standard, or is it just okay, but it's excellent for this place's standard?
I think it's just normal food.
It's pretty good food. I don't know what to tell you. It's like good food. What do you want from me? There isn't distinction.
No, I wanted to know, is it like, would this be a delicacy out in the real world? Or would this be normal food in the real world that just happens to be a delicacy here?
Yeah, we can go with that. That's fine.
Well, the way you described it, Cody, was just like, they've actually been able to smuggle in real world food without the grime and the slime. So I reckon it's just real food. It's just regular food. It's not bad, but it's not good, but it comparatively.
Yeah, they're going to have the best stuff that could possibly be gotten here. Is there anything else anyone is like itching to do right at this moment?
I think so.
Nope.
All right, cool. So, as you all are stashing weapons and deciding when to and when not to arm a band of citizens, you hear shouts. And as you look out the bar windows, you see, first of all, like, about half the torn cloaks that you sent initially running through town, and right on their heels, like, literally grabbing ankles with tentacles and biting heads with big, like, half-shark mouths, is a horde of horrible eldritch creations, just shoggoths all the way down. Tentacles and flippers and half-fish octopuses, like haphazardly glued to people, are swarming after the torn cloaks as they run screaming through town, slowly getting picked off one by one, back towards their little stronghold.
And would these people be called the eel arms, Cody? I'm determined to make this stick.
I mean, they have eel arms, yes. Some of them, like, there's one of them that has eel arms, and you're like, look, it's a whole collage of crazy creatures, and one of them does have eel arms, and it seems like in a pinch, someone might describe the type of theme that they're going for here as having eel arms, yes.
Do we have to fix this? I feel like this is our fault.
Abominations!
Triggered.
Rolf just starts shaking violently at hearing that word.
Just knocking fast release arrows, just going. Rolf is noticeably triggered to silence and stillness.
I take that as a yes. I guess we have to fix this.
Cody, I don't know if you did this. Wait, no, I'm upset with monstrosities, not abominations. Never mind. This is less fun.
Monstrosities? I forgot what
they
it was
can
called.
be monstrosities. It's fine. I would say this qualifies.
Yeah, same thing.
Still triggered, then.
You're slightly less triggered. You went from like a 10 to a 9.
9.5.
Like, none of them are doppelgangers. They are just corrupted people, so,
They're monstrosities, for lack of a better term.
it's close, though. It's in the vein, it's in the ballpark.
Still triggered.
All right, so the horde clears out of town, right? There's a few straggling, like, crawling things that have been twisted so far that they no longer have legs, kind of like flopping down the street, all snapping mouths and slithering tentacles. Off back towards where you have just come, the empty, torn cloak stronghold. What is everybody doing?
Being triggered, number one. But
Got it.
Carl is thinking that these are that these people, based on what we know from Mama Vile, these are experimented on people that are kind of lost who they are. So it's probably not really them / their fault. And we might be able to use them as a way to follow them back to the Mama Vile's place of business.
Okay. This is not bad ideas, but you don't have enough information to know that for sure. Anyone else have thoughts, comments, questions, concerns about what's happening?
I think we should just let them all die.
That does significantly diminish our second-ish army, which is more trained than going to be our first army.
Sounds like, let them fight.
Some of you may die.
So I just want everyone who obviously can't see our webcams to note that Devante, upon being questioned about that, just shrugged his arms while drinking a glass of wine.
No, it's fine. We're joined today by Cersei Lannister, who's going to spend this episode drinking wine and doing nothing.
It was a long day at school.
I get it. Cersei's had a long life. It's fine. She's got people that she needs to let die. All right. Any other thoughts besides maybe using them as a means to track back to Mama Vile?
Or letting them die.
Or letting them die, yeah. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Both viable options.
I don't have any specific thoughts on what to do with this.
Is your only thought just to reanimate anything that's dead?
I mean, sometimes to kill things that aren't dead yet.
Okay, so then basically now what you guys have is there is a siege going on, and you can try to investigate that if you want to try to learn more about the creepy squid monsters. Or this would also be a time when the lab of Mama Vile is probably more vacant due to the fighting between the Torn Cloaks and the, creations of Mama Vile.
To make this really hard for Cody, let's split up.
I mean, you can. That's fine. It just means that you have half the swords if things go sideways.
When they go sideways.
Well, because, we could always call Leora. Is that what we said?
Yeah.
We could always have her kind of get us into that hideout and, take a couple of us over there while the rest of us try to mitigate as much damage as possible over here. I'm trying to minimize the damage to our raid force here, Cody. I want to go in with a full siege.
Well, it's by the second you're losing raid force, you know? If the Torn Cloaks have made it to those walls, there's less of them now than there were when they started, and then they're defending their stronghold against creepy Cthulhu monsters.
Yeah, but defense dictates, one person for every 6 attackers.
What if those 6 attackers are creepy Cthulhu monsters? How does that shake out in the equation?
No one can outsmart Bullet.
What I'm saying is, how many Ents does an orc equal? You know what I mean? Or how many orcs does an Ent equal?
I know, I'm joking.
If we're splitting the party, I call the siege.
Just because people will die.
Well, no, I get 2 more thralls that way.
Well, that is true. And some of them could be creepy tentacle thralls.
But at the same time, if you're saying it's as bad as it is, Cody, is there really any benefit for us getting involved in this?
Yes, I have 2 thralls over there.
Stop it. Stop.
Well, what I can tell you won't happen is I won't just murder the entire party and say you lose if you go and look at a siege. I promise that won't happen.
Well, it sounds like the options here is we watch the siege and just okay, cool, siege. Or we go invade the lab while it's weakly defended.
Or we participate in the siege.
Also a possibility. It's very open-ended here. And, look at it this way, you're like the Aragorns of this world. Did it matter that Aragorn specifically was at Helm's Deep? Well, by the numbers, no, but in the story, yes. You know what I mean?
Or we can do nothing.
Or you can do nothing, and you can let the tentacle monsters kill the Torn Cloaks and, see who wins.
Alright, fine. Let's go save them.
No. Hey, Tonk, I think you have a valid idea of sending a person or 2 over there to go check out this lab and try to talk to her.
Oh, thank God.
But I think 3 people should help with the siege and 2 people should go.
I call siege.
I'll also help with the siege.
Let me look at my charisma. I call siege.
Okay, we got 3 for the siege. Thanks, everybody.
Sorry. I have no bonus to charisma.
Amma, looks like we're going to the lab. Are you okay with that?
I am okay going wherever I need to go.
Oh, wait. Oh.
Unless you want to be a part of the siege too, I'll go to the lab. It's fine.
Your charisma is so great. How would you not want to go and try to convince someone? You could play her a song on the lute.
Exactly. My charisma is wonderful, and I am very persuasive. Ding, 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 ding.
We might need to shift someone else over to help them.
Pause out of that. Just rip the world off real quick. Who actually has the best charisma in this party? Because it's not me or Amma.
Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
Ben?
I guess I do. +3.
Ben?
That's, oh my gosh.
Ben, you're coming with me. Because I have a -1.
Y'all
Almost-
are weirdos.
Except the actual weirdo.
Mandy, what's yours?
I have a 0.
I also have a 0.
I have -1, so I definitely should not be going on this. Ben, you have to go.
But do I?
Mort, you are the most convincing out of all of us.
Look, we'll keep some sacrifices alive for you. How about that? Does that work?
No, it's not about the sacrifices. It's about the 2 bodies I have over there already. There's 2 people over there that already belong to me.
And you have to trust us that we'll protect your thralls.
Can't see why I would go to the lab, but
Because, Mort, I would assume they have some really nice abominations, experiments there, just on their deathbed, just waiting to be reanimated.
you guys think I have weird fetishes. I don't reanimate all the bodies.
Yes, but they're probably stronger than some of the ones you have now.
Stronger than Macho Man, Randy, whatever?
His name's Oswald Vile.
Nacho Man Tandy Tavage.
Okay, fine. I'll go to the lab.
Don't you have to replace one of your skellies anyway?
No, I reanimated that one.
Yeah, but oh wait, it's the other one that you should probably just let die. That's right.
But what are the odds that it's stronger than Hector?
Pretty good. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Going to the lab.
Cool.
Sorry, Ben, I'm peer pressuring you.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to argue about it for a minute.
That's our scene.
Okay. How do you want to get to the lab?
They should probably call Leora.
So wait,
So who's going to the lab?
who's going to? Is it?
I think Amma and Mort.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh no.
let me bring up my spells.
Let me get thaumaturgy ready.
She has to get her travel tunes ready.
I sent one of the skeletons with the people going to the siege.
You know what? I'm gonna level with you guys. My plan here would have been that Amma and Ben would have gone first, going to the lab. We're not gonna do that because Ben is cutting out every 3 seconds. So we're gonna do
Sorry.
the other half of it, and then that's gonna be where the cliffhanger ended, which was not my original plan. Which is fine. Okay. So the 3 of you. You have, currently there is a siege going on. You haven't really looked at it much yet. What do you guys want to do?
This is a really nice siege.
Well, let's go see what's happening.
Cody, do any of them have like normal faces?
Alright, so, do any of the Cthulhu-y creatures have normal faces?
Yes.
Okay, so, you walk out of the inn. The road towards the nobleman's retreat is like thick with ichor and slime. It's all gross. There's like the occasional body of a dead Torncloak, like leading a path of ruin towards the nobleman's retreat. As you make your way there, like I said, it's in like the side of a big mountainside, and then there's a wall built out from the like sheer like cliff face of a mountain. And there's like a pretty big empty space between the actual town and this like little small castle that's there. Once you get close, you can see like a horde of these creatures all clamoring at the gate. Meanwhile, there are Torncloaks manning the walls. They're all like frantically firing arrows down as quickly as they can into like this roiling mass of tentacles and like creepy creatures that are also throwing rocks up and trying to rip the wall down like stone at a time with magically enhanced strength. And you can make a perception check.
Let me finish my notes.
Okay.
All of us?
Well, I mean, Carl asked a specific question, or Rolf asked a specific question. So if there's something you want to know, you can also make perception checks.
Not with an 8, he's not.
No, so with an 8, none of them appear to have human faces at all. In fact, you're pretty sure none of these are human.
I just want to help. I don't want to shoot things.
I want to look and see if if I think the Torn Cloaks will be able to fend off his attack, or if they're going to get broken into.
Gotcha.
Is that perception or investigation?
Let's go perception, because you're, like, looking at the scene. You're not really investigating.
Darn, investigation's better. That's fine. Not with a 5, I don't know that.
So, to you, this looks like even matched. You probably haven't been in that many of these types of battles. Like, this is a full siege. They don't have, like, any rams, so you're like, well, how would they ever get the door open? It's probably fine. Any other questions you guys have?
What are they doing with the bodies of the Torn Cloaks? Like, are they literally trying to kill them, or are they, like, trying to take them hostage and drag them away?
Oh, they are not trying to take them hostage. They're just killing them, yeah.
Just mass murder.
Yeah, it's just, they're just, like, going crazy. Killing their way through all the Torn Cloaks.
Rampage. Nice.
Yeah, they seem like, I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. Like, it's more like animalistic. They don't seem to have, like, rank and command and organization. It's just, there's a lot of monsters all at once throwing themselves at these walls.
I guess you say a lot. How many is a lot? Are we talking 30 or 300?
I would say probably in total maybe 50, but these are mostly bigger than humans, so that's a lot. And there are maybe, like, 20 Torn Cloaks manning the wall, but it's like arrows aren't just automatically winning the day. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like they're never killing one of these things, but it doesn't seem easy. Does that make sense? All right, any other questions that you guys have about the siege?
Do they look like... So no one looks like they can be reasoned with? Like, there's no one that looks as if they are a rank above?
There is not a, like, big scary monster standing in the back, like, pointing a sword. No. If you want to try to take one of these things prisoner, like, snatch one at the back that seems to not be doing very much, you can definitely try that. But there isn't, like, a guy you can go up to, you know what I mean? What I'm saying is, if you want to try to talk to one of them, it's going to be a roll, and the result of that roll is that you might end up fighting a lot of these things.
That ain't worth it, boss.
Somebody wants to talk to him? I'm sitting way in the back.
just watching it happen.
I'll have an arrow knocked, but, like, I ain't getting close to that thing.
So you don't want to distract them and then run back to keep where Amma and Mort are trying to get into right now?
No. Because we don't really have any know where they're going or how they're getting there. Like, Leora's going to take them to their mom's secret lab in the woods. We don't really have anywhere to go.
Throw a fireball!
I don't think we have anyone who could do a fire... Wait a second. Yeah, no. I don't... Yeah, we don't have anyone who could do a fireball right now.
Cody, I'll make you a deal. I'll talk to them, but I want to roll with fast friends, calm authority, and hypnotizing eyes.
As you say that, you see the door of the gate around the nobleman's retreat, like, breaks open, and you hear, like, screams from the siege as, like, the Torn Cloaks are now fighting in their little courtyard area, and all of the creepy monsters have invaded.
And we took a lot of their weapons. Good for us.
Well, you did. You did take a lot of the weapons, but I mean, the Torn Cloaks were armed, so it's not the end of the world, you know. Well, I mean, it is for the Torn Cloaks, but you know what I mean.
Does this mean we have to go in there now?
No.
No, it just means that we're gonna watch them get slaughtered. Or get slaughtered ourselves.
Well, here's the question, though. If we sit here and do nothing, where do they go next?
They go into the green mist. Maybe to return. Just a little bit less, so is there really a consequence? Other than them being...
I'm worried they go after the townspeople next.
I mean, they ran straight past the townspeople before.
They were actively engaged. If I dangle fresh meat in front of a lion, it's going to follow the meat.
I mean, that fresh meat has been there for however long this place has been here.
So what would the Torn Cloaks have done to aggravate it?
Yeah, but it's kind of our fault, though, that they were even out there in the first place.
All right. Well, then it looks like we're about to go fight.
I'm not happy about any of the solutions here. Thanks, Cody.
Nope. I am completely okay with this. I pull out my hammer, my shield, and I start running across.
I tail behind at a modest pace. but enough to stay in range.
I run with him.
I would have been throwing fireballs already.
I love that heroic sentence right there. I tail behind at a moderate pace.
A modest
Says Rolf,
pace.
the hero.
I want to stay in range, but I don't want to be up there taking the brunt of the tentacles.
Before we get started, though, can I get my little orby thing thrown into the air as I channel divine inspiration or whatever the crap is called?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Okay, and that is where we're going to end. So, you throw a divine orb up in the air. Everyone begins feeling your, clerical blessings be bestowed upon them. And right as you're running, the back ranks of the eldritch creatures turn to face you. All three of you. Just running right at them.
I am so sorry, guys.
Thanks for listening to this episode of UnderTown. The music for this show was Action Epic by Komiku and can be found at loyaltyfreakmusic.com. If you like this show, you can check out more at our website or on Podbean and interact with us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also find us streaming on Tuesday nights at wandering_gamers on Twitch. Until next time, be careful wandering the Undertown.